My name is Mallory, and I'm 32 years old. I showed up early to my sister Bethany's 30th birthday dinner at this upscale restaurant downtown, thinking maybe I could help set things up. You know, be the good sister for once. But as I walked toward the private dining room, I heard her voice through the cracked door, clear as day. I wish Mallory hadn't come. Everything was perfect until she confirmed. I froze. My hand was already on the handle. For a second, I thought about turning around and leaving, but something made me push that door open anyway. And when Bethany saw me standing there, her face drained of all color, like she'd seen a ghost. My mother, her husband Derek, and 3 of her friends just stared at me. The room went completely silent. That's when I knew this wasn't just about a birthday party. Before we get into what happened next, let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. If you've ever dealt with family drama like this, hit that like button so I know I'm not alone, and subscribe because trust me, this story gets wild. You won't believe what my own sister had planned for me. I need to give you some background here because none of this makes sense without it. Growing up, I was always second place to Bethany. Always. She was the cheerleader, homecoming queen, the daughter my parents showed off at every family gathering. I was the one with my nose in a book, too serious, too sensitive. That's what my mother Patricia always said. Why can't you be more like your sister? I heard that more times than I can count. Dad was different though. He was the only one who ever really saw me. He'd sit with me for hours talking about books, about ideas, about what I wanted to do with my life. He told me I was smart, that I could build something real. Mom never said stuff like that to me, only to Bethany. When Dad died 3 years ago, something shifted. The gap between me and the rest of my family got wider. Way wider. I was drowning in grief, and Mom was just distant. Cold, even. She spent all her time comforting Bethany, making sure Bethany was okay. Meanwhile, I was falling apart and nobody noticed. Or maybe they did, and just didn't care. So I threw myself into work. Built my consulting business from nothing. Just me, my laptop, and way too much coffee. And you know what? It worked. I landed big clients, hired a team, won awards. I was finally proud of something I'd done completely on my own. Then I met Harrison about a year and a half ago. He's an architect, and he's kind in a way I didn't know men could be. Patient. He actually listens when I talk. Last month, he proposed. I called Mom to tell her and she said, "That's nice, honey." Well, talk later. She never called back. Bethany's been ice cold to me for the past 6 months. Ever since my business really took off, actually. I'd try to make plans with her and she'd be busy. I'd text and get one-word responses. But when the birthday invitation came through, I thought maybe things were getting better. It was just a text, super formal, but still, an invitation. Harrison told me I should go. Maybe this is her way of reaching out, he said. So I bought her this designer handbag she'd mentioned months ago, something way out of my budget, and I showed up 30 minutes early. Old habits die hard. I always used to arrive early to family stuff, trying to help, trying to be useful, trying to be wanted. That's when I heard them talking. The door to the private dining room was barely open, but I could hear everything. Mom's voice first. "Is she bringing that man?" Bethany responded. And God, her tone. Harrison. "Yes, God, I wish Mallory hadn't come." Everything was perfect until she confirmed. Then Mom. "Well, it's too late now. We'll just have to make the best of it." Bethany again. She always finds a way to make things about her. I stood there in the hallway feeling like I'd been punched. Part of me wanted to just leave. Walk out, go home, forget the whole thing. But something in Bethany's voice was different. Not just annoyed little sister different. Something darker. So I opened the door. Bethany's face went from flushed to sheet white in about half a second. Derek, her husband, stood up so fast he knocked over a wine glass. Red wine spread across the white tablecloth like blood. Mom's eyes went narrow and hard, and Bethany's 3 friends, Sloane, Kendra, and April, all suddenly found their phones very interesting. My voice came out steadier than I felt. I brought your gift. Should I leave it at the door? Or are you going to explain what I just heard? Bethany recovered fast. She's always been good at that. She laughed, this forced little sound. Mal, you're so paranoid. I was talking about the weather ruining our photos. Mom jumped in immediately. Yes, the forecast said rain. The three friends nodded like bobbleheads. Derek wouldn't look at me. I felt that old familiar feeling creeping in. That maybe I was being too sensitive, too dramatic. Making something out of nothing like they always said I did. But then I remembered. There's no rain forecasted today. I checked this morning. Bethany's smile flickered. For just a second, I saw pure contempt flash across her face. Then the sweet sister mask slid back into place. Can we not do this today? It's my birthday. Mallory, you're making a scene, Mom said. Again. This is why we worry about inviting you to things. There it was, that familiar twist of the knife, making me the problem. Making me the one who ruins everything just by existing. I felt myself getting smaller. The apology was forming on my lips. Then the door opened behind me. Harrison walked in, took one look at the tension in the room and asked, "Is everything okay?" Bethany's whole expression changed when she saw him. Calculated. Cold. She looked at Harrison, then back at me. "Everything's fine. Now that we're all here, we can start the celebration." But I watched her slip her phone out under the table and start texting someone. My stomach dropped. Whatever was happening, whatever they'd planned, it was about to get worse. The seating arrangement should have been my first real clue. Harrison and I were put at the far end of the table, separated from each other by two of Bethany's friends. Bethany sat at the head like a queen. Mom to her right, Derek to her left. I was as far from the center of attention as possible, and it hit me. This was deliberate. This was planned. The conversation started flowing, and it was like Harrison and I were invisible. They talked about trips I didn't know about, inside jokes I wasn't part of. "Remember Napa last month?" Sloane said, laughing. I looked up. Napa, oh. Bethany's smile was razor sharp. "That wasn't. We didn't think you'd be interested, Mal. You didn't invite me." Well, it was kind of a last-minute thing. But the way she said it made it clear it wasn't last minute at all. Then Sloane turned to me like she just remembered I existed. "So Mallory, what is it you do again?" Before I could answer, Mom cut in. "Oh, Mallory has some little consulting thing. Works from home," Bethany added. Voice sweet as poison. "Very flexible schedule. Must be nice not having real office hours." My jaw tightened. "I have 12 employees and contracts with Fortune 500 companies." "That's great, sis." Bethany's smile didn't reach her eyes. "I'm glad you're keeping busy." The dismissal was so casual, so complete, it took my breath away. Harrison's hand found mine under the table, squeezed. He tried to help. "Mallory just won an award from the Business Association last month." The table went dead quiet. Then Derek changed the subject like Harrison hadn't even spoken, started talking about his promotion at his law firm. Everyone congratulated him, enthusiastically. The contrast was painful and obvious. April noticed my ring. "Oh my God, is that an engagement ring? Finally. Something good." "Yes. Harrison proposed last month. I waited for congratulations, for happiness, for something. Instead, Bethany's smile froze on her face. Mom's fork clattered against her plate. Silence. Thick and awkward. Then Mom, "You didn't tell us. I called you. You said we'd talk later and never called back." Bethany's voice had this edge to it. "Well, this is certainly sudden." Derek muttered something under his breath about barely knowing him. Harrison shifted next to me, uncomfortable. "I'm so happy for you, Mal." "Really?" Bethany's tone was dripping with something that definitely wasn't happiness. "It's so brave to get married at your age. Second chances are wonderful." "It's my first marriage." Right. I just meant, starting later in life." I wanted to throw my water in her face. But I just sat there, taking it. Like always. Kendra leaned forward. How long have you two been together? A year and a half, Harrison answered. Sloane raised her eyebrows. Oh, that is fast. April chimed in. Bethany and Derek dated for 4 years before getting engaged. The implication hung in the air. I was rushing, making a mistake, being impulsive. Then Derek suddenly got very interested in Harrison, started interrogating him like we were in a courtroom. Where did he go to school? What does his family do? What's his financial situation? Harrison answered politely, but I could feel his discomfort. These were questions Derek had no right to ask. We'd been dating for over a year, and this was the first time Derek had shown any interest in Harrison's existence. I was about to say something, to tell Derek to back off, when the server arrived with the cake. Derek stood to give a toast, went on and on about Bethany's accomplishments, her kindness, her perfect life, to the best wife, the best daughter, the best sister anyone could ask for. Everyone raised their glasses. I didn't. Mom glared at me. I forced myself to lift my glass, but I didn't drink. Then Bethany stood up, dabbed at her eyes dramatically. I'm so grateful for all of you, my real family. She paused, looked right at me. The people who have always been there for me. The people I can count on. The people who truly know me. Each phrase was aimed directly at me, each one a reminder that I wasn't included in that circle. I stood up. I need some air. Harrison started to follow, but Bethany's voice stopped him. Let her go. She does this. Makes everything about her drama. I heard it as I walked away. Heard the way she said it. Like I was a problem. Like I was the issue. I went outside instead of to the restroom. Stood on the sidewalk trying to breathe. Trying to convince myself I wasn't overreacting. Maybe I was too sensitive. Maybe they were right. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You should know what they're saying about you. There was a screenshot attached. A group chat called Bethany's Real Birthday Party. Members: Bethany, Mom, Derek, Sloane, Kendra, April. Messages from earlier that day. Bethany: can't believe she's actually coming. Thought shed, take the hint. Mom: we'll just have to tolerate her for a few hours. Sloane: want me to keep Harrison busy? I can flirt a little, make her uncomfortable. Bethany: perfect. And someone needs to ask about her business. Air quotes, intended. Derek: I'll grill the fiancé. See what he's really after. Kendra: this is mean, but I'm here for it. I stared at my phone. Read the messages twice. 3 times. This wasn't paranoia. This wasn't me being too sensitive. They'd planned this. Coordinated it. They'd set out to humiliate me, and I'd walked right into it. The question was, why? Harrison came outside, found me with tears streaming down my face. What happened? I showed him. Watched his jaw tighten as he read. We're leaving, now. No. My voice surprised me with its steadiness. I want to know why they hate me so much. I walked back inside. Harrison followed. Bethany saw my face, and I watched her realize I'd found out something. Fear flashed in her eyes before she could hide it. This was about to get ugly. I walked straight to the table and slammed my phone down in front of Bethany. The screenshot was right there for everyone to see. Care to explain this? Bethany's eyes went wide. Mom gasped. Derek swore under his breath. The 3 friends suddenly became very interested in literally anything else. People at other tables were starting to stare, but I didn't care anymore. Where did you get that? Bethany's voice had this shake to it. That's fake. Someone's trying to cause problems. I would never say those things. But she wasn't a good liar when she was caught off guard. Her voice wavered. Mom stood up, going on the offensive. How dare you come here and accuse your sister? On her birthday, after everything we've done for you. Something in me snapped. What have you done for me? Tell me. When Dad died, did you comfort me? No. You said I was being dramatic. When I started my business, did you support me? No. You said I'd fail. When I got engaged, did you celebrate? No. You ignored me. My voice was getting louder. Months, years of hurt, pouring out all at once. Derek stood up, tried to use his height to intimidate me. You need to leave. You're ruining everything. You've always been jealous of Bethany. Can't stand to see her happy. Harrison stepped between us. Back off. Now. Sloane tried the concerned friend approach. Mallory, you're clearly going through something. Maybe therapy would help. Kendra nodded. This is really concerning behavior, April added quietly. Maybe you should talk to someone. They were trying to make me look crazy. Unstable. The problem. Bethany started crying. Real tears, or fake ones. I couldn't tell anymore. I just wanted one nice birthday. Why does she always do this? I've tried so hard to be a good sister. Derek put his arm around her. Mom rushed to comfort her. And just like that, the optics shifted. Bethany was the victim. I was the villain, having a public meltdown. The restaurant manager approached. Is there a problem here? Mom jumped in immediately. My daughter is having an episode. We're so sorry. Bethany sobbed into Derek's shoulder. She's been struggling. We've been worried. They were creating a narrative, and it was working. Other diners were looking at me with pity or judgment. I was the crazy sister, ruining a birthday dinner. I felt the ground slipping from under me. But then Harrison whispered, We have the proof. Don't let them gaslight you. I took a breath, pulled up more screenshots. There were dozens. Going back months. Want to hear more? I read aloud. Bethany to the group 2 months ago. Dad always liked her better. So glad he's not here to see her success. Mom's face went pale. I kept reading. Mom's response. She manipulated him. He would have seen through her eventually. Sloane. What's the deal with her business anyway? Is it even real? Bethany. Who knows? She won't tell us any details. Probably embarrassed. Each message landed like a physical blow. The friends went pale. Derek ran his hand through his hair. Bethany's tears froze on her face. My phone buzzed again. Same number. It's April. I'm sorry. This has gone too far. Everyone's head swiveled to April. She was crying now. Real tears, not Bethany's performance tears. I'm sorry, Bethany. But this is cruel. Shay's your sister. April's voice shook. They added me to that chat 3 months ago. At first, I thought it was just venting. But it got worse. So much worse. Plans to humiliate you, to drive you away from the family. I should have said something sooner. Bethany's mask fell completely. No more tears. No more victim act. Pure rage. You stupid bitch, April. After everything I've done for you. The sweet sister was gone. This was the real Bethany. You want to know why, Mallory? Her voice was ice cold now. Because Dad's will. That's why. Mom grabbed her arm. Bethany, don't. She's already figured it out. Haven't you? I was genuinely confused. Dad's will? He left everything split evenly between us. Bethany laughed, bitter and sharp. That's what you think. Derek tried to stop her. Beth, we agreed. Bethany shook him off. I'm done pretending. Dad changed his will 6 months before he died. Left you the house, the investments, the business shares, split it 60-40 in your favor. Because you were struggling and I was secure with Derek. The room tilted. I didn't know. Because we told the lawyer to tell you it was 50-50. Mother and I. We've been managing the estate. You signed the papers without reading them, remember? Trusted us to handle it. And I had. It'd been drowning in grief after Dad died. Mom said she'd take care of the legal stuff. I'd signed documents in a daze, barely reading them, trusting my family. I deserved that money. Bethany's face was twisted now. I was the good daughter, the one who visited him every week, the one who played the perfect little princess. And he left more to you? The daughter who argued with him about everything. It all clicked into place. This wasn't just sibling rivalry. This was about money, about resentment, about jealousy that went back years. Bethany had been the golden child her whole life, but in the end, Dad had chosen me. How much did you take? Bethany smiled, cruel and satisfied. Enough. Mom tried to intervene. We should discuss this privately. No, we're discussing it now, in front of everyone. How much? The restaurant had gone completely silent. Everyone was watching. Phones were probably recording. Bethany leaned back in her chair, enjoying the power. Guess you'll have to call a lawyer to find out. Mom stepped forward, trying to take control of the situation. Mallory, you're blowing this out of proportion. We were protecting you. You were grieving. You couldn't handle the responsibility. Trying to reframe theft as protection. Classic manipulation. Protecting me? By stealing from me? By lying about Dad's wishes? That's not protection. That's fraud. Mom actually flinched at the word fraud. Bethany needed it more. She and Derek were trying to buy a house. You were fine on your own. You've always been independent. The logic was so twisted it made my head spin. I didn't deserve help because I didn't need it as badly, because I was stronger. This is why you've been so cold to me, I said slowly. Why you stopped inviting me to things. You were afraid I'd find out. Mom looked away, didn't deny it. The house. Dad's house. You said we should sell it, that the market was good, we could split the proceeds. Silence. Harrison pulled out his phone, started searching property records. Has an architect, so he knows how to look this stuff up. He showed me his screen. You didn't sell it, did you? Dad's house was still in the family name. But there was a new address listed for Bethany and Derek. The same address. You're living in Dad's house. My voice broke. The house he wanted me to have. The house where I grew up. Bethany didn't even look ashamed. We're taking care of it. Someone had to. That house was my sanctuary growing up. Where Dad taught me to read. Where we had long talks about life and dreams and everything. Where he told me I could be anything I wanted. And Bethany had taken it. I turned to Derek. You knew about all of this. I advised them to tell you, Derek said. Bethany scoffed. You did not. You said we should wait. Wait until the right time. Wait until she forgot about it, Bethany snapped. Cracks were forming in their united front. Derek looked genuinely uncomfortable. This isn't how I wanted this to go. Oh, now you grow a conscience. Bethany's voice was sharp. You were fine spending her money on our renovations. You said Shed signed off on everything. Another layer of deception. Derek hadn't known the full extent. Bethany had lied to him too. Mallory, I swear, I thought you knew. Bethany said you two had worked it out. Don't you dare turn on me now. Bethany hissed at him. Sloane tried to de-escalate. Maybe we should all calm down. You were part of this. I rounded on her. All of you. The group chat, the planning. You knew what they were doing. We didn't know about the money. Sloane protested. Shut up, Sloane, Bethany snapped. Kendra was full on crying now. We just thought it was typical sister stuff. We didn't know they'd stolen from you. April spoke up. I didn't know either. Not until last week. Bethany's glare at April was pure hatred. How long has this been going on? I asked. Since Dad died? Before. Mom looked at Bethany. Bethany looked away. Then Mom said it. We started planning after he got sick. My stomach dropped. When he was dying? You were planning to steal from me while he was dying. We knew what he was going to do. We saw the new will. It wasn't fair to Bethany. While Dad was in hospice, while I was sitting by his bedside reading to him, holding his hand, they were scheming. I thought I was alone in my grief. But I had you two, my family. That's what I told myself. My voice was shaking. But you weren't grieving. You were celebrating. Because now you could take what was mine. Don't be so dramatic, Mom said coldly. You still have plenty. Your little business is doing fine. You don't need your father's money. Harrison's anger finally showed. That's not the point, and you know it. You stole from her. You lied to her. You let her believe she was losing her mind for being hurt. I don't recall asking for your opinion, Mom said icily. And I don't recall asking for your permission to give it. My voice went quiet. Dangerous quiet. I want an accounting. Every penny. And I want you out of that house. Bethany actually laughed. Or what? Or I go to the police and a lawyer. What you did is fraud. It's theft. You forged documents, didn't you? Told me the will said one thing when it said another. Mom's face went pale. The power had shifted. For the first time in my life, I had the upper hand with them. And they knew it. Bethany stood up so fast her chair fell backward. Fine. You want to destroy this family? Go ahead. But don't expect us to welcome you back when you're done playing victim. She grabbed her purse. Mom called after her. Bethany, wait. But Bethany stormed out. Derek looked between me and the door, then followed his wife. Mom was left standing there, looking old and defeated for the first time. The restaurant manager came over again, clearly wanting this drama out of his establishment. Will you be settling the bill? Harrison pulled out his card without hesitation. We've got it. I tried to protest, but he just shook his head. Let me do this. Mom reached for my arm. Please, can we talk privately? There's more you don't understand. I pulled away. I understand enough. April approached hesitantly. I'm so sorry. I should have told you sooner. Why didn't you? I was afraid, Bethany. She has a way of making you feel like you owe her. She helped me get my job. I thought I'd lose it if I crossed her. It clicked. Bethany controlled everyone through favors. Got April her job. Introduced Sloan to her husband. Helped Kendra through a divorce. Then held it all over them. Made them complicit. Sloan and Kendra left without saying goodbye. Too ashamed or too loyal to Bethany, I wasn't sure which. Outside, Harrison and I stood on the sidewalk. I was shaking as the adrenaline faded. I just accused my family of theft in a public restaurant. You told the truth. What if I'm wrong? What if there's an explanation? He showed me the screenshots again. These are their words. Their plan. You're not wrong. The drive home was silent at first. Then I started crying. Not gentle tears, but deep, body-shaking sobs. Years of feeling less than, years of being dismissed, years of being gaslit. It all came out. At home, Harrison made tea while I sat on the couch checking my phone obsessively. Expecting what? An apology? Nothing came. At 10 p.m. my phone finally buzzed. Mom, you've made a terrible mistake. Bethany is devastated. I hope you're proud of yourself. No apology. No admission of guilt. Just blame. More messages followed. Bethany, you're dead to me. Derek, I can't believe you'd do this to your own family. Even Sloan, you went too far tonight. The narrative was already being rewritten. I was the villain in their story. They're doing damage control, Harrison observed. Getting ahead of the story. We need to document everything. Then, the social media attack started. Bethany posted vaguely but clearly. Sometimes family hurts you the most. When jealousy turns into cruelty. Grateful for my real supporters during this difficult time. The comments poured in. Stay strong. You deserve better. Some people can't handle others' happiness. No one knew the truth. They were only seeing Bethany's version. Then my business Facebook page got hit with negative reviews. Obviously fake, from newly created accounts. Unprofessional, unstable. Don't trust her. Someone was orchestrating this. Dad's sister, Aunt Louise called. Mallory, what on earth happened? Patricia called me. Said you had some kind of breakdown. Accused them of terrible things. I tried to explain, but Louise was skeptical. That doesn't sound like Patricia. Family members who were never close but always polite were now distant. Calls went to voicemail. Messages were left unread. Bethany and Mom had poisoned the well. But Harrison's mother called. Are you two okay? Do you need anything? The contrast was stark. His family believed me. Late that night, Harrison and I pulled up the estate documents. I'd signed without reading carefully, trusting Mom. Now I read every line. The will was clear. 60-40 split. The house to me. Dad's investment portfolio to be divided. His business shares to be sold and split. None of this had happened. The documents I'd signed showed a 50-50 split. Someone had changed the numbers. Scanned and edited the PDF. I'd signed the fake version. This isn't just family drama, Harrison said quietly. This is actual crime. Fraud. Forgery. Theft. We need a lawyer. Tomorrow. At 1 a.m., an email arrived at my business address. From a concerned client. Warning my other clients about my mental instability. It included screenshots from the restaurant. edited to make me look unhinged. Sent to my entire client list. Panic set in. My business was my livelihood, my independence. Everything it built without family help, and they were trying to destroy it. I checked my business email. 3 clients had already sent concerned messages. "They're not going to stop," Harrison said, his voice hard. "This is scorched earth. We fight back. Hard." I was scared. Could I really take on my whole family? The night stretched endlessly. I couldn't sleep. Every sound made me jump. I kept refreshing my phone, watching the character assassination happen in real time. Bethany posted an Instagram story. A photo of her and Mom. Caption: "Real family stays together through anything." Doubt crept back in. Maybe I should have stayed quiet. Maybe I should have just walked away. Let them have the money. Keep the peace. But then I remembered Dad. He wanted me to have those things. He chose me. And they stole that choice. At 3 a.m., another text. Unknown number. April again. "They're planning something. Meeting tomorrow at the house. Your father's house. Be careful." I showed Harrison. He set his jaw. "Then we go to that house tomorrow. With a lawyer. They'll never let me in. It's your house. They can't keep you out." But I wasn't sure about that. My family had already proven they'd do anything. I barely slept. When morning came, Harrison was already up making calls. Head found a lawyer named Rochelle Grant who specialized in estate fraud. She could see us at 9. Rochelle's office was downtown. She was in her 50s with sharp eyes that didn't miss anything. She listened to the whole story, reviewed the documents, and her expression got darker with each page. "This is clear-cut fraud. The question is proving who did it." She explained what we'd need. The original will filed with the county. The documents I'd signed. Financial records showing where the money went. Testimony from witnesses. "This won't be cheap. Estate litigation rarely is." "Whatever it costs," Harrison said immediately. "I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering." Rochelle nodded approvingly. "You'll need his support. They'll make this ugly." She suggested a cease and desist letter demanding they stop the harassment, stop the social media campaign. I hesitated. "That'll make them angrier. They're already angry. This protects you legally." By noon, Bethany and Mom had both received formal letters demanding full accounting of the estate, return of all misappropriated funds, demanding they vacate the property, and warning against further harassment. Within an hour, Mom called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. "How dare you send lawyers after your own family? After everything we've done for you? Your father would be ashamed." That line broke something in me. They were using Dad against me. Dad, who wrote that will specifically to take care of me. I called Mom back. "Bad idea," she answered immediately. "So you finally have the decency to call." "Don't talk to me about decency. You stole from me. We protected you. You were a mess, so you took advantage of my grief. Bethany needed that money more than you. She's always struggled financially. Because you enabled her. She never had to work for anything. Don't you dare criticize your sister. She's had a hard life." Mom genuinely believed this. In her mind, Bethany was the victim. Always had been. The logic was insane but unshakable. Then Derek called. He sounded exhausted. "Mallory, please. Can we work this out without lawyers? You lied to me, Derek." "I know. I'm sorry. I really thought you knew. Bethany told me you'd agreed. That you wanted us to have the house. I didn't question it because why would my wife lie about that?" He sounded genuine. I almost felt bad for him. Almost. "Even if you believed her, you live in that house. You renovated it with money from the estate. You had to know something was wrong." Silence. Then, "I didn't want to know. That's the truth. Let me talk to Bethany. Maybe I can convince her to make this right." "You couldn't convince her of anything. You know that." "I have to try. She's my wife. And I'm her sister." That didn't stop her. Later that afternoon, a group text came from Mom. "Family meeting. Tomorrow, Dad's house, 6 p.m. We will discuss this like adults. Come alone." I showed Rochelle. "Don't go. It's a trap. They'll gang up on you, try to get you to sign something, or they'll record you and edit it to use against you. Harrison agreed. But I was tempted. What if I wear a recording device? Illinois is a two-party consent state. Illegal. What if I wait outside? Harrison offered. Rochelle considered. That could work. Safety measure. Against advice, I decided to go. I needed to face them. Needed to hear what they had to say. Needed them to see I wasn't backing down. Rochelle made me promise. Keep my phone recording in my pocket for safety. Don't sign anything. Leave if it gets threatening. That evening, I got an email from a former client. They were canceling their contract due to concerns about stability. That was 2 clients lost. Another fake profile posted in a business networking group claiming to have worked with me said I was erratic and unprofessional. Obviously fake, but the damage was done. Harrison had been digging into Bethany's finances through public records. She's in debt. Serious debt. Credit cards maxed out. Second mortgage on the house. She's been living above her means for years. The motive crystallized. Bethany didn't just want the money out of jealousy. She needed it desperately. And Mom had helped her take it. I felt something shift. Not pity, but understanding. Bethany's perfect life was a facade built on debt and lies and my inheritance. Still didn't excuse it. But it explained it, April called. I want to help. I'll testify if you need me to. About the group chat, the planning, all of it. Why? You'll lose Bethany's friendship. I already have. And am tired of being part of something ugly. Harrison and I planned it out. He'd drop me off, parked down the street. I'd text him every 15 minutes. If I didn't, he'd come in. The night before the meeting, I stood in front of the mirror practicing what I'd say, trying to steel myself. This was my family. My sister. My mother. How did it come to this? My phone buzzed. Text from Bethany. See you tomorrow, sis. Hope you're ready. The threat was clear. They had something planned. Harrison read it over my shoulder. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. I need to end this, one way or another. I dressed carefully that morning. Professional but not aggressive. Needed to look confident even though I was terrified. Harrison drove. We didn't talk much. As we turned onto the familiar street, my chest tightened. Dad's house. My house. Taken from me. The house looked different. New paint. New landscaping. Bethany's aesthetic everywhere. Erasing Dad's memory. 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes. Harrison reminded me. If I don't hear from you, I'm coming in. And if you feel unsafe, just leave. The house isn't worth your safety. I nodded, kissed him, got out of the car. I still had my key, but I rang the bell. Didn't feel right to just walk in, Bethany answered. Her smile was cold as ice. Come in. Inside, Mom was there, Derek, but also a man I didn't recognize. Late 50s, expensive suit. This is Lawrence Webb, Mom said. Our attorney. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a family discussion. It was a negotiation. Or an ambush. Lawrence was smooth, professional. He gestured to the dining room table where documents were laid out. Please, have a seat. Let's discuss this reasonably. I remained standing. What is this? He slid a document toward me. A settlement agreement. Your family wants to resolve this amicably. I scanned it. They were offering me $100,000 to settle all claims regarding the estate. The estate was worth over $800,000, plus the house, worth another $600,000. They were offering a fraction. You're not serious. We're trying to be generous, Mallory, Bethany said. More than generous, considering. Considering what? Considering you abandoned Dad in his final years. I was with him constantly. Were you? Bethany slid another document across. Hospice visitor logs. Her name appeared dozens of times. Mine, far fewer. But I looked closer. These visits were all during work hours when I was at my job. I visited evenings and weekends. There was no log for that. This doesn't show evening visits, Lawrence cut in smoothly. The point is, Mrs. Patterson visited consistently. Provided care and companionship. While you were building your business, the implication hung heavy. I'd chosen work over Dad. It was a narrative they'd constructed carefully. You were always so busy, Mallory, Mom added. Too busy for family. Bethany put her life on hold to care for him. Rewriting history. I was there every evening, reading to him, holding his hand. Derek wouldn't meet my eyes, but he said his line. Bethany sacrificed a lot. She deserves to be compensated for that. They'd rehearsed this, coordinated their stories. This offer is generous and it expires tonight, Lawrence said. If you don't sign, things will get much more complicated. Expensive. Drawn out. Public. Your business will suffer more. There was the threat. Bethany pulled out her phone, showed me more social media posts. Extended family. Friends. All supporting her. All condemning me. You're already losing in the court of public opinion. Lawrence presented more documents. Emails allegedly from me agreeing to the 50-50 split. Agreeing to let Bethany live in the house. These are forged. Can you prove that? The forgery was sophisticated. They'd created a paper trail. Fake emails with my address, backdated. If I didn't have Rochelle, I might fall for it. Mom started crying. Please, Mallory. Just sign. Let us put this behind us. I can't lose both my daughters over money. Your father wouldn't want this. Using Dad again. It made me see red. Don't you dare tell me what Dad would want. He wrote that will knowing exactly what he wanted. He wanted me to have those things because he knew. He knew you'd favor Bethany. He knew you'd try to cut me out. That's why he did it. My voice broke. He told me before he died. He said, "Don't let them take advantage of you. You're stronger than they think." He knew. He knew what you were. Mom's face went white. That's a lie, Bethany screamed. Dad loved me more. Everyone knows that. He loved you. But he didn't trust you. There's a difference. Bethany lunged across the table. Derek grabbed her. Beth, don't. But Bethany was screaming. I was the good daughter. I did everything right. I was perfect and he still chose you. Years of resentment pouring out. The mask completely off. Lawrence tried to regain control. Ladies, please. Too late. The veneer of civility was gone. My phone buzzed. 15 minutes. I needed to text Harrison. But I was frozen. Just sign, Mallory. Please. Mom begged. We can be a family again. We were never a family. Not really. A family doesn't steal from each other. A family doesn't lie and gaslight. A family doesn't destroy each other's livelihood. Lawrence gave the ultimatum. Last chance. Sign now or face a long, ugly legal battle. We have evidence of your abandonment, your mental instability, your inability to maintain relationships. By the time we're done, you'll have nothing. I looked at the document. At the pen. At their faces waiting, expecting me to cave like I always had. No. Simple. Clear. I'd advise you to reconsider, Lawrence said. I don't need your advice. You stole from me. You'll return what's mine. Every penny. The house. Everything. You'll never prove it, Bethany hissed. I smiled, reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone. Still recording. That's illegal. Mom gasped. Actually, I was recording for my safety, not as evidence. But interesting that you're worried about it. Almost like you know you've done something wrong. Anything recorded without consent is inadmissible, Lawrence said quickly. But the damage was done. They'd shown their hand. The threats, the fabricated evidence, the coordination. I headed for the door. Derek tried to stop me. Mallory, please. Let's all just calm down. I am calm. Calmer than I've been in months. Because now I see you clearly. All of you. Bethany blocked the door. You're not leaving. Get out of my way. This is my house. No. It's not. We stood facing each other, years of hurt between us. The door opened. Harrison. Had seen the 15-minute mark pass. Is there a problem? His presence shifted everything. Bethany stepped aside but whispered as I passed. This isn't over. You're right. It's not. Outside, my hands were shaking, but I didn't sign, didn't cave. Small victory. But they were just getting started. In the car, I was shaking with adrenaline. Harrison asked what happened, and I told him everything. The forged emails, the ultimatum, the threats, they're not going to stop. We called Rochelle immediately. She was furious. They committed multiple felonies in that meeting. Intimidation, falsification of documents, coercion. We're filing tomorrow morning. Criminal charges and civil suit. Going nuclear. That night, we gathered everything. Every text, every email, every screenshot. Building an irrefutable case. April came over with her own evidence. Screenshots of the group chat going back months showing the premeditation, the planning, the deliberate cruelty. There's something else, April said. Bethany's been skimming from the estate for over a year, taking money monthly, calling it maintenance for the house. But the house doesn't need $40,000 in maintenance. The amount was staggering. April had bank statements. She's been helping Bethany with paperwork, saw the withdrawals, realized they didn't match any actual expenses. She's been funding her lifestyle with your money. Designer clothes, expensive dinners, trips, all paid for by your inheritance. April revealed one more thing. Derek had a gambling problem. Lost about $50,000 last year. Bethany covered it with estate money. That's why Derek goes along with it. He's complicit now. Rochelle reviewed April's evidence. This is excellent. This is everything we need. But April, you'll have to testify in court. Are you prepared for that? April nodded. Yes. I'm done protecting her. Next morning, the lawsuit was filed. Formal complaint with the county requesting full forensic accounting, demanding return of all funds, criminal referral to the district attorney. It was official. War was declared. Because it involved fraud and family, local news picked it up. Sisters battle over deceased father's estate. Suddenly it wasn't just family drama, it was public. Bethany did an interview with a local news station, cried on camera, talked about being attacked by her sister. I only wanted to help her after Dad died. I took care of the house because she was too grieving. Now she's accusing me of theft. She played the victim perfectly. But the journalist did basic research, found the court filings, saw the evidence. The follow-up story was very different. Documents suggest possible estate fraud, quoted Rochelle. Bethany's interview looked less sympathetic in context. Comments on the news story were mixed, but many supported me. Family who steals is the worst. She's right to fight back. The tide was turning. Bethany's friends started distancing. Sloan and Kendra quietly unfriended her on social media. Colleagues at Derek's firm were talking. Her perfect image was falling apart. Derek called me, "Ill testify." About the gambling, the money, all of it. I want out of this marriage. I was shocked. Why now? I thought I loved her. But I don't know who she is. The woman I married wouldn't do this. Or maybe she would and I was too blind to see. I don't want to be part of this anymore. He sounded broken. Bethany discovered Derek's betrayal. She showed up at my apartment, pounding on the door, screaming, "You turned my husband against me." Harrison called the police. I watched through the peephole as my sister completely unraveled. The police escorted her away with a warning. I filed for a restraining order. It was granted temporarily. Mom showed up at my office, got past the receptionist, confronted me in the hallway. "Please, I'm begging you, drop this. Bethany is falling apart. She's talking about, I'm worried about her. She did this to herself. She's your sister. She stopped being my sister when she stole from me, when she tried to destroy my business, when she turned everyone against me. I don't know you anymore." Good, maybe you never did. The trial date was set. Civil case in 3 months. Criminal investigation ongoing. DA was building a case. If convicted, Bethany could face prison time. Part of me wanted to drop it, let it go. But I thought of Dad, of his wishes, of what Bethany did. No, I was seeing this through. The forensic accountant traced every penny. $300,000 taken beyond what was agreed, spent on personal expenses. Undeniable, irrefutable. Bethany's lawyer reached out to Rochelle wanting to negotiate. Bethany would return the money, all of it, plus the house. If I dropped the criminal complaint, Rochelle presented the offer. It's a good deal. You get everything back. But she won't face criminal charges. I thought about it. About Bethany in prison. About Mom's grief. About Dad. What would Dad want? Justice. But also mercy. He loved Bethany too. Despite everything, she was his daughter. Ill accept, with conditions. Full repayment including interest. The house immediately. Public apology. Acknowledgement of wrongdoing. And they never contact me again, Bethany agreed. Had no choice. She was broken financially and emotionally. Derek was filing for divorce. Her friends were gone. Her reputation destroyed. She had nothing left. The final meeting for signing the settlement. Bethany looked like a stranger. Hollow-eyed. Thin. No makeup. No designer clothes. Just defeated. No words were exchanged. We signed. Lawyers witnessed. It was done. Bethany stood to leave. Paused at the door. Looked back at me. Opened her mouth. Closed it. Left. Mom didn't come to the signing. Sent a letter delivered by her lawyer. I read it alone. I don't know how we got here. I thought I was protecting both my daughters. But I see now I only hurt you. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know your father was proud of you. He told me that near the end. He said you were the strongest person he knew. I didn't understand what he meant. I do now. I'm sorry, I cried. Not for Mom, not for Bethany, but for Dad, for the family we could have been, for the relationships lost. I grieved. And then I let it go. The house was mine again. I walked through it one last time, saw where Bethany changed things, where Dad's touches remained. I decided to sell it. Too many memories, good and bad. Time for something new. As I locked the door for the last time, I felt lighter. Free. 6 months later, Harrison and I moved into a new house. Smaller than Dad's, but it was ours. No ghosts, no bad memories. Just possibility. We got married quietly. Harrison's family came. A few close friends. April came with her new boyfriend. She was thriving, free from Bethany's influence. No one from my family attended. And that was okay. The business recovered. The clients who left came back, apologized for believing the rumors. New clients came. Word spread about what happened. People respected me for fighting back, for standing up to family. The business was stronger than ever. I ran into Derek at a coffee shop downtown. Head lost weight, looked healthier. Divorce finalized. He was rebuilding. We talked briefly. "I'm sorry," was all he said. "I know," was all I responded. We parted ways. No animosity, just closure. Through Derek, I learned Bethany moved to another state, living with a friend, working retail, trying to start over. I felt nothing, not satisfaction, not pity, just indifference. And that was healing. Mom sent a Christmas card. First year, I threw it away unopened. Second year, I opened it. Generic message. No apology, just hope you're well. I didn't respond, but I didn't throw it away either. Progress, maybe. I started seeing a therapist, working through family trauma, learning about narcissism, about golden child and scapegoat dynamics, understanding it wasn't my fault. I didn't deserve that treatment. Nothing I could have done differently. The breakthrough came when I realized I'd been seeking approval from people incapable of giving it. Mom would never see me. Bethany would always be jealous, not because of anything I did, but because of who they were. Their limitations, not mine. Harrison never said "I told you so," just held me when I cried, celebrated my victories, reminded me of my worth. "You're not defined by their inability to love you properly." Those words saved me on hard days. Harrison's mother treated me like a daughter. His sister became my best friend. I learned what healthy family looked like. Boundaries respected. Apologies given when needed. Love without conditions. It was different. Better. On the anniversary of Dad's death, I wrote him a letter, told him everything. Thanked him for seeing me. For the will that forced the truth. You knew they'd show themselves. You gave me the tools to be free. I burned it. Watched the smoke rise. Felt him there. I ran into a cousin from Dad's side. We heard what happened. I'm sorry we didn't reach out. We believed their version. But then the truth came out. Extended family slowly reconnected. On my terms. I was cautious but open. Everyone asks, do you regret fighting back? My answer is always the same. No. I regret not doing it sooner. I spent years making myself smaller, trying to earn love I was never going to receive. Fighting back gave me myself. What I learned. Family isn't just blood. It's the people who show up, who support you, who celebrate your success without jealousy, who love you without conditions. Some people are related by blood, but they're not family, and that's okay. The hardest lesson. You can't make people change. Can't make them see you. Can't make them sorry. You can only control your response. Your boundaries. Your healing. Let them go, even when it hurts. I'm grateful for April's courage, for Harrison's support, for Rochelle's advocacy, for Dad's foresight, for my own strength, for the ability to rebuild. The surprise. I'm happy. Really, genuinely happy. Not performing happiness, real joy. In my marriage, my work, my life. The family that tore me down inadvertently set me free. A letter arrived from Bethany, forwarded through lawyers. I held it for days. Harrison said I didn't have to read it. I did anyway. No apology, just explanation. I was jealous my whole life. Everything came easy to you. School, work, relationships. I had to fight for every scrap of attention. It made me bitter. I became someone I hate. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know it was never about you. It was always about me. I didn't write back. But I understood. Bethany was broken in ways I couldn't fix, was probably broken long before, by the same dynamics that hurt me, just manifested differently. It didn't excuse anything, but it explained it, and that was enough. Harrison and I were in our backyard. I was planting a garden, tomatoes, herbs, flowers, creating life, creating beauty. He brought me water, kissed my temple, happy. I looked around. At our home. Our life. Built on truth. Yeah, I really am. Sometimes family breaks you. Sometimes you have to break away to save yourself. It's not giving up. It's growing up. Choosing yourself. Choosing truth. Choosing peace. And that's not selfish. It's survival. It's strength. It's freedom. Your worth isn't determined by who loves you, but by who you love, starting with yourself. Boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to healthier relationships with people who deserve access to you. Blood doesn't obligate you to accept abuse, to stay silent, to shrink. You can walk away and still be the good person. Actually, sometimes walking away is the best thing you can do for everyone. I went inside and looked at the photos on the wall. Me and Harrison on our wedding day. My team at the company retreat. April and her boyfriend. Harrison's family at Thanksgiving. My chosen family, the real one. No photo of Bethany, no photo of Mom. Just the people who showed up, who stayed, who loved me properly. And that's enough, more than enough. It's everything. So let me ask you something. Have you ever had to walk away from family to protect yourself? Have you ever been the scapegoat in your family while someone else got all the love and attention? Drop a comment below and share your story. You're not alone in this. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these stories and realize they're not crazy for feeling hurt by their own family. And subscribe to the channel because I share real stories about real people dealing with real family drama. Stories that might help you feel less alone in your own struggles. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's struggling with toxic family members. Someone who needs permission to put themselves first. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being here. I hope wherever you are in your journey, you find the strength to choose yourself, to set boundaries, to walk away if you need to. You deserve to be loved properly. You deserve to be seen. You deserve peace. Take care of yourself. You're stronger than you think.